Hi everyone, this is Carolyn at Fram's Cams. I thought I would pop on and just kind of make a video unboxing. It's not like a crazy unboxing video, but instead what I wanted to do was just to kind of show people what we do when we unbox, what we think is best for the chameleons when you unbox your chameleon. Taking your chameleon out is also always super exciting, and you guys have been waiting for it for a long time, but it's also pretty stressful for the chameleon, him or herself. And really it should be kind of a quiet transition from a box that they have been in overnight, dark, pitch black. You're opening it up, lots of hands, lots of voices, kind of a scary time for your chameleon, understandably. So I just kind of wanted to show what you should do when you unbox your chameleon, where it should go. I'm just gonna quickly open this up. We actually got this girl from one of our customers, but long story short, she actually came from us in the beginning, so we're kind of taking her back, hoping to do some breeding with her. She's an older ass baby that we have. Actually, don't quote me on that. She could be a flash baby too. I'm gonna have to check with my husband. But here she is. Very nice Tupperware container. But I'm just going to quietly take her out. You can tell by her coloring that she's a little nervous. I'm going to keep my voice kind of low. Give her a minute to adjust to the light. You know, you should always give your chameleons a good look around, see if they made it through the shipping process okay. You just want to check her eyes. Doesn't look like she has any issues with her eyes. You can see her colors are brightening up. That could be because, she's in the light again. She's also probably a little stressed, but this little girl is a receptive female, you can see. So her cage, the one she's going into, is actually the one that you can see in the background here. We made sure, well, it's probably a little different for most of you, but we've had chameleons in this before. So last night we made sure to disinfect the entire cage. We let the disinfectant sit on the leaves, the vines. We rinsed it a couple of times, repeated the process a couple of times, just because you want to make sure that you're, getting anything out that might have been there from before. So I'm gonna go you can see she's walking up. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean she loves you already. She's kind of just getting used to her surroundings, but really the best thing would be to take them out, to quietly look at them. Let them do this a little bit, but then right into the cage, and then I'm gonna give her a nice misting because she's probably pretty thirsty. So I'm just gonna open this cage up, let her go inside. Oh, she's really pretty. And then take my mister. I'm not gonna spray her. I'm just going to spray the leaves down until I see them kind of dripping. It's very normal for them to start climbing right to the top of their cage. Chameleons will typically climb to the highest spot that they can. And when they are unfamiliar with the cage, that means they're going to go right to the ceiling. So, like I said, that's kind of normal, especially if you have babies that are younger, they like to go right to the top. So I just sprayed her leaves. I'm probably going to come back with a few feeders in a little while. I'd rather her drink right now than worry about her eating right now. So I'm going to move away from the cage. My suggestion to customers is always to give your cam a good amount of time to settle in before you start to panic that they're not eating, they're not drinking. It's a transition. So they need to get ready and comfortable with their new enclosure, comfortable with, what they're seeing going on outside of their cage. If your head is always, at the screen, they're probably pretty scared thinking that you're a predator. So it is going to take some time for them to realize that you're not there to hurt them. And we can talk about that in another video or at another time, but just be conscious. If you have little kids, if you have dogs that are barking in the background, anything like that could be kind of stressful for them. So don't panic. Let them have that time. Give them days. It might even take a couple weeks for them before, like she's out in the open right now. I'm assuming in the next little while she'll probably go hide somewhere. She might not come out for a little while. If you're misting and if you're putting in feeders and worried that they're not eating or drinking, just keep in mind that they are very adept at hiding this from predators. I mean, that's kind of in their DNA. They mask when they're ill. They don't want to show any weakness. So check the poop. All right. If your chameleon is pooping, then most likely they are eating. If they're drinking, they're most likely fine. And just because you see a poop that has an orange tint does not mean that it's dehydrated. If anything, healthy poops are going to have somewhat of an orange tint. You don't want the poop to be completely, or the urates, the white part, to be completely orange. But completely white can mean that they're being overhydrated. So it's kind of a fine balance. So just keep an eye on it. If they're pooping on a regular basis, the poop and the urates look healthy, then your chameleon is definitely eating. They might just not be doing it in front of you. That may take a while. So like I said, I'm going to let her get used to her enclosure. That is the best thing to do, and give her time, quiet time. Right? If you have to, maybe wrap 3 sides of the cage in a towel so she can't see out and she knows things aren't looking in at her. Or him. I keep saying her, but that's just because that's who I have in front of me. So there's lots of different ways to make them feel more comfortable. Like right now, my cat is very interested in what's going on. So when I put this camera down, I'm going to be taking my cat out of the room, just so this little girl is not freaked out by this predator that's sitting right next to her enclosure. So it's just all the little things. Think of it from the chameleon's perspective. Put yourself in the chameleon's shoes, if you will. It sounds kind of silly, but listen to what's going on in your house. Try to look around the cage to see what she or he might be seeing from inside that cage. And if there are things that you can do to make them feel a little bit more secure, more live plants. Right now she's in a pretty empty corner, so I'm hoping she's going to go into the side of the cage that has more foliage and protection for her. One of the things that I'm noticing I could do is I could put another plant in the back corner of this cage to help her feel a little bit more secure. So if you're always kind of thinking along those types of lines, your chameleon is going to be pretty happy. Don't panic after a couple of hours and think that your chameleon hates you. This process might take weeks, unfortunately, but it does. And for the most part, they will come around and they'll feel more comfortable in their surroundings, and you'll see them a lot more, and and hopefully get to the point where they absolutely will eat in front of you and just do all of those things that are the things that make owning a chameleon just amazing. So if you have any questions, comment below, and I'll try to answer as many as I can. Thanks for watching.